Hey guys, Chris Dunn here, aka the Boogie Man. Episode 2 about Sick Week. All right, we're going to go through our list here in just a few minutes of what we got to do to get ready for Sick Week, which is about that long, and we are way behind. But we're going to start off with our transmissions. We've got them. This is our race transmission. This is the one we do our 8th mile racing with. We also going to re-gear it for the quarter. This is the one we just, do the hardcore pulls on. This is our brand new transmission that G-Force just built us just for street driving. It's specially made just for street driving and to help us be able to run a ring and pinion and not have to change it. So this is just this is a badass transmission right here. So we appreciate the guys at G-Force for building this for us and working with us on how to do this. Them guys are great. Listen, G-Force has the best or one of the best drag racing transmissions they are. Not just, you going to go pro stock in or this or that. I'm talking about, the normal guys like me that run a gasser and 4-speed or gear jammers or all kinds of different, from 4 speeds to 5 speeds. They got it. Look them up, G-Force Transmissions. They got a place called G-Force South, which is down in North Carolina, and corporate is up in Pennsylvania. Either one of them guys can help you. They're just badass. G-Force, rock on. We tore no transmissions up since we went to a G-Force. Now, like I said, this is our racing version. This is going to be our street version. We are going to change them every day. I'm putting them on rails so I can literally slide it out and stick it in. Because during a race, we can change the transmission out in 15, 20 minutes. So we're just excited to get these. Like I said, this is going to be an H pattern. This is my inline, big 8. And I hope we've run the quarter. Let me rephrase that. I've never run the quarter in competition, but I run a quarter in testing years ago at Montgomery. They had the quarter-mile timer zone. So I know basically what this car will run in a quarter with a certain amount of horsepower. So, and we got way more horsepower than that now. So the main thing is just making the car streetable, and that's what we're fixing to do. So we're fixing to go to the whiteboard, start our list. You guys are going to join us. We got to build a trailer. We got to build a fuel cell. The car's already legal. We got to put our turn signals on it, and then we're ready to go. Stay tuned. We're going to the whiteboard. Okay, guys, we're at the whiteboard now. All right, we got a long list here, and it's like October the 30th. So we really don't got about 90 days to really pull this off, get a lot of testing done, because February 12th, we have to be in Florida. So here's what we got to do. This is just some of the stuff. I'm sure I forgot something we're going to add as we go. Sick Week prep, 2023. Let's be sure, 2023. We're excited. Transmissions, check. We have got our transmission stuff took care of. We know which one we're going to race with. We know which one we're going to drive with. Now, do we have all the gearing set up right yet? No. We're going to actually put a hot rod engine in the Boogeyman in the next week and a half to 2. We're going to go ahead and start putting it on the road and start street driving it to try to work out the gearing. What ring and pinion will work for the street, but also will work for the track. So the only way to do that is get out here on the road, start driving, and see what it likes from watching RPM. All right. Now, trailer. Go back a couple of years ago or a year and a half ago. I have everything to build the trailer but the aluminum, which is ordered and on its way in here. So we're going to build our axle ourselves. We're going to build a super lightweight aluminum trailer, and we'll go from that. Now, one thing I forgot is hitch. We got to put a hitch on the car. I think I got a little old, like the little hitch, like on little compact cars, little small 1-inch, square stock hitch. I think I got one of them around here somewhere, so we'll try to keep that light as possible. All right, turn signals. I have a universal turn signal switch. The thing's always had headlights and tail lights. So basically, I've got some OEM factory turn signals that I'm going to install in the front fiberglass, and it's really just wire everything up and we have turn signals. So we have the stuff, we just ain't got it done yet. Street testing is going to be a major, major thing. We will take you guys with us for street testing. You get to ride along with us. In fact, I got to pick some headers up next weekend at the SCGA race from a friend of mine, so I don't have to go into building a bunch of headers to actually build a set of street headers. All right, build fuel cell. We don't have but a 3-gallon Moon Eyes original tank on the front. That's not enough, so we're just going to race with that. So what we are going to do is we're going to build a fuel cell and we got to do lines. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run lines from the back up front with valves on it to shut off the fuel from the back, run off the fuel on the front to the pump. I'm trying to make this where we can really convert the car as fast as possible, get us a run, and then hit the street again. So that's the next thing is a fuel cell. The aluminum's coming with the other aluminum for the trailer. Typically I build these a little heavy. I like to build a street fuel cell. I build 1/8 aluminum, which is pretty heavy. This one here, I'm going down to 0.80. I'm just trying to keep it as light as possible. And I'm gonna go around 15 to 20 gallons. In fact, when we go to build that fuel cell, I'll show you how to calculate that. Installing the parachute. Car's gonna run over 150 mile an hour in the quarter mile. As far as I understand the rules are, if you run over 150 mile an hour, you must have a parachute. I have an old chute here, or I have all the hardware, and I have an old chute. I think chutes have to be up to date. I got to check on that because you have to go through a safety inspection at 6 weeks. You have to be up to safety standards for all NHRA, IHRA certification. That's number 7 right there. Safety. All the belts and window nets and everything has to be up to date. So that's on my list. I'll go ahead. I've got extra belts. I keep extra ones. So I'll send my belts off to White, have them recertify them. A window net, they don't allow you to do that, so I just order a new window net. So I need to get all my belts and safety equipment up to standard. And I'm going to have to buy a new helmet. I've got my helmet, which is open face for 8th mile, but I'm probably going to go ahead and buy I'm going to have to get a certified, full face for the quarter mile. All right. So we got our trans, we got our trailer and hitch, we got turn signals, testing, build a fuel cell and lines, install parachute, safety belts, and get all that up to date. And mainly drive the car. I mean, that's the key, is to get out here. It's getting Christmas time here. We got parades all next month, around Thanksgiving, Christmas. So I may just put it in some parades for fun, just drive it and just get seat time on the street. I know what it'll do on a track. I need to know what it'll do on the street as far as, will this hold up? Will that hold up? Will pop rivets rattle out? Will the front end design hold up, constantly hitting potholes and bumps and this and that? So we're going to get on this immediate now. Now we have some projects in here that we're fixing to jump on and get done too. The 69 truck I start on tomorrow, finishing up, trying to get the roof done. We got the 49 in here, mechanical issues and some other stuff. That's going to be worked on tomorrow by another guy that I've got in here now. So we're going to catch some projects up, and you'll catch some of that too, because we need to get some of this stuff out of here. I've just been so busy in the industrial side that we're slowed just a tick, enough to get over here and work in the hot rod shop. But this is our priority right here on our racing. We're not going to make Shadyside the SEG race next weekend and Shadyside Dragway in Shelby, North Carolina. We're just not going to make it. The engine's sitting in there, the heads are on it, the bottom, it's all but done, but an intake and the oil pump put in, but I just don't have time. I'm gonna go ahead, and we're gonna go to the dyno probably the weekend after Shadyside, and that's our big bad 1/8 heads up race engine. We're gonna go ahead and dyno it. We're gonna go ahead and see what it'll do, and then we're just gonna pickle it, bag it for next year. And then that's basically, we'll just, prep it up to set for next year on a stand, and everything sealed up. I got plates I've made to close up cylinders and stuff now, and we'll kind of spray the cylinders down with something the best we can and kind of pickle it, you know what I mean? So it'll be ready for next year. Then we got our heads being worked on right now for our drag week sick week drag week engine, our drag and drive engine, and it'll be ready hopefully, in the next month or so, month and a half. And then we're just going to go dyno it, and then we'll stick it in the car. Hopefully we'll get a few weeks of driving it and see how we like it, because we're trying to keep this simple. I don't want to complicate it with computers and laptops and this and that. I want a simple dial that turns the timing down. What gas can we get away with to run? What RPM can we run up to without it spark knocking? How's it going to pull the trailer? and to gear it and stuff. Now, the fortunate thing is we build transmissions in-house. Everybody that follows the channel know I build all our race engines, our transmissions in-house, and we have G-Force always supporting us. We can call them, giving us advice and this and that. So if we don't like a gear, we can change it here, and that's a big deal. I can pull the transmission out right quick, change it, and and go test it. So that's just great. I just thought about this right here. Transmission slides. We don't have them in there. When I built the Boogie, man, now, if you go to the SEG now, there are so many A-gas cars, and even B-gas and C-gas and whatnot, are works of art. They've literally now cars that are pro-mod style built cars, as far as quality, the sheet metal, the way they're designed. I mean, they are. And when I built the Boogie, man, my mindset was, or at least I thought this is the way the mindset was, is build a 60s era car, but take the 60s era stuff and put your own spin on it to try to make it more user-friendly, more adjustable, and help you tune the car. Like my big rectangle ladder bars have a Heim joint on the end that runs in and out. And that was something I wanted, the big rectangle ladder bars, but I also wanted that Heim for adjustment. So I wanted to take what they had back then and add a little bit of spin to it, and I think that's where I went when I built the car. So it don't have, fancy slides and stuff like it for the transmission. It's going to get them now because we need them for this, drag and drive events. And then next year when we do some make the mile stuff, if we was to tear a transmission up or we want to change the transmission and try it is simple. But it was not, in my mind, the intentions of what the racing was going to be like. But it's just everything progresses. I don't care, if you start right here and say we ain't going to allow but this engine and this and this and this, every year that's going to progress because somebody's going to want to go a little faster. Somebody's going to try to get, be a little bit more inventive. So the evolution of that is, at the end of the day, we have gas or pro mods now. They're literally built like a pro mod, far as like they have. What I mean that is just the complexity of how clean, nice, everything that transmission slides, pedal adjustments. You look in some of these cars, the sheet metal looks like a modern car. You look at the firewall where now they're welding the frames and actually firing the wall back, and it looks like something you'd see in a pro mod. And I think they've lost, my personal opinion, they've lost sight of what that was about. But it don't matter. It's like I said, evolution's evolution, and that happens. Would I build another car that way? No. If I built a new car tomorrow, my mindset is old school. I don't think I could build one that's really modernized with, the mid plates built into the firewall, stuff that kind of looks pro-moddy to me, or modern drag car-y. I don't think I'd do that. I think it takes away from what you're trying to do. You're trying to race old school, and granted the engines now have put engines in the gearing and figuring all this out has put everybody into the low fives, which is great. Now I think that's pretty good for the sport, but I think also it's got out of the safety ranges too. But that's for a discussion for another day. Long story short, I got to put slides in the transmission, slides in because I've never had them before. I'm going to put them in. I still run a steel drive shaft. A lot of these guys now run aluminum. I think there's probably some carbon fiber ones out there, and I still run a 3.5 heavy ass steel drive shaft. And maybe I need to go to aluminum, I run a steel center section up till last year. I run a nodular iron third member up till last year that I bought a used one from Jimmy Finley at a good deal, and I put an aluminum in and shave a little weight. I run a steel one. That's how old school I think about this. I never even run an aluminum one. So, but long story short, we're excited about Sick Week. We had a lot of people reaching out to us about Sick Week. I hope it sounds to me like it's going to be an awesome event. We just hope to finish, but we do want to be competitive. So stay tuned. This is the second episode about Sick Week. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, there'll be the third. Chris Dunn, a.k.a. the Boogie Man.